Who's ready for a constitutional crisis? I am. So, update on the sort of case about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Mentioned earlier throughout the stupid, insane press conference that Trump had with Nayib Bukele. But, worth mentioning separately here. So, again, overall summary has led here because this is pretty true. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was in the United States legally. He was a permanent resident. He had a green card. He was married to an American woman in Maryland. A federal court ruled that he cannot be deported, which they did. Quite literally, the Trump administration representatives said, hey, we're just following the orders of the DOJ. We followed no basis or process or anything at all. They admitted to this in court. They were just yeah, we didn't follow any of the rules at all. We just deported. We just got rid of him. Like I said before, deport first, ask questions later. Fuck it. Whatever. Who gives a shit, right? So they told him, okay, bring it back. So they defied that court. There's actually, no, we're going to deport him anyways to an El Salvadoran prison. So, fuck you. We're just going to deport him. That court then decides, okay, we're bringing this up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled 9-0, saying you're gonna, you're bringing him back. You're gonna bring him back. And then Trump said, nah. Party of law and order, folks. Party of law and order. Quite literally, even Trump himself said, if the Supreme Court tells me to abide by a thing, I'll abide by that ruling. I'll do it unless I don't like it. And so, lies, of course, as always. So, well, we got a bunch of clips, from the stupid press conference. So Collins, the CNN reporter, you said that if SCOTUS said someone needed to be returned, you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago. Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we are keeping criminals out of our country? That's why nobody watches you anymore. So, I mean, it's intentional at this point. You can pretty much surmise, he just wants to deport people. That's it. He just wants. It doesn't matter if you're if it's unlawful. Doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or anything. And it's unanimous. Everyone agreed. All the courts fucking agreed, saying you're going to bring him back. He's a mad king, dude. He just wants to do mad king shit. That's all that it is at this point.
You
right?
said that if the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago, and they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping...
He just gets mad. He's mad. Hey, isn't it bad that you're just doing mad king shit and just flying in direct order of, the Constitution, of which you are supposed to be the upholder of? No. I don't care. I just want to be a king.
Criminals out of our country. Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over? And that's why nobody watches you anymore. You have no credibility. Please go ahead.
President Trump.
Yeah, he just got mad. It's incredible. Just open defiance. That's it. Incredible. Tries to get Bukele to weigh on this. Obviously, Bukele says some schizo shit, saying how can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? He's not a terrorist. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is simply put, he's just not a terrorist. He did nothing wrong. Literally, ICE just fucking blackbagged him just to blackbag him. Yeah, fuck it. That's sick, people. Can't believe it. Oh, this question is preposterous. And people are going to think Nayib Bukele is a fucking Chad for saying stuff like that. No, your answer to the question is preposterous. Dude, you're the fucking president of El Salvador. You have control of the fucking prison, okay? You can literally put him on a fucking plane. The courts are fucking ordering the Trump administration to do it. They just don't want to fucking do it because they're fucking racists. That's it. That's the only common factor, and they just want to do this because, fuck it. Fuck it, YOLO. Who cares? Swag. 420.
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
Well, I guess.
Nope.
Suppose you're not suggesting that I smuggle a terrorist into the United States, right?
I want those sweet U.S. dollary dues because I'm just a client state little bitch-made puppet, and I want my dollary dues. So fuck it, we're not gonna return them.
It's always
how can I return him to the United States? I smuggle him.
The idea, you're the fucking president. This is the president of the United States. He can literally tell you, you're going to return him. The Supreme Court told me I have to return him. But, you know, what happens when there's a mad king in power who just doesn't want to do it? Fuck it. You know, then he just doesn't do it. Incredible.
In the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States?
No evidence he's a terrorist. Of course, Trump's loving it. He's like, that's my good little puppet. Keep sucking, keep sucking.
I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You can get him out of the prison. The U.S. can provide a plane, which the Trump administration has to facilitate on the order of the courts. He's just not doing it because, man, fuck it. Fuck that. Who gives a shit?
I'm not releasing.
Hilarious.
I'm not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. I mean, we just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? No, that's not going to be.
Yeah, that's totally what they're saying,
love
dude.
to have a criminal, you know,
Yeah,
released into
I mean, there's a fascination.
No evidence at all that Kilmar is a fucking criminal. Just a lie. It's just lies. Because, again, they're just a bunch of dipshit fucking fascists. Bondi on Garcia, that's up for El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us. He is an American permanent resident. So, yeah, actually, no, it is up to you. You have weigh in on what you can do with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, but he got his fucking green card. He's a permanent resident and everything. You just don't want to return him because, again, I don't know, you want to cause a constitutional crisis for some fucking reason. Because, again, Mad King shit. That's the point.
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Thank you,
at
President.
CBS.
Do you plan to ask President
Low
Bukele
rated.
to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly
Which one is it?
deported? The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador?
Which is true. The literal fucking lawyers within Trump that represented the Trump administration in the fucking court cases said, like, yeah, like, this was not intended. We were just, like, following orders. Like, it was not intended for him to be deported. And that was argued in court. But, nah.
Well, let me ask Pam.
It actually was.
Answer that question.
Sure, President. First and foremost,
It's incredible.
he was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in
That's just a blatant lie.
2019, two courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he was illegally in our country.
Zero evidence
right now,
of that.
It was additional paperwork had needed to be done. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us. The Supreme Court ruled, President, that if, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs, if they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
Yeah, and they said that to facilitate it. They ordered you to do it, saying, like, yeah, he is a lawful American permanent resident, saying, like, you should do that. But, again, as I've said before, they want to fucking needle and dime over, like, the terms, the terminology, because in reality, what do they want? They're not going to do what they're supposed to do honestly in listening to the fucking judiciary. They just want to fucking keep him in El Salvador as a fucking slave. That's what they actually want. But, you know, fuck it. Meh. Who gives a shit? Just leave him in there. It's actually fucking incredible. The Supreme Court told Trump, and from what I understand, now they're just, like, going along with what he's saying. It's incredible. They're just capitulating to him for no reason. The Supreme Court told Trump to try to get El Salvador to release Abrego Garcia back to U.S. custody, but make clear that Trump doesn't actually have to do it if he doesn't want to. This is incredible. So long as he cites foreign affairs as an excuse. The Supreme Court literally gave him an out. Fan-fucking-tastic. Just, yeah, you just want to randomly fucking deport people for the sake of deporting people? Fuck it. The Supreme Court's fine with that. Just do it. Whatever. Are the Democrats gonna fucking do anything about this? Probably not. It's in-fucking-credible, man. And all because there's a pay-for-play scheme going on with El Salvador for between the United States. How's there fucking the random illegally deported fucking immigrants? Fuck it, just the random people that we black bag, put them in the fucking gulag. Fuck it, in-fucking-credible. We already saw this. Marco Rubio, no court in the United States has a right to conduct the foreign policy of the United States. That is true. They don't. However, if they tell you to bring back a fucking dude because they want to uphold the fucking Constitution, you know, because what you did was illegal, you had no basis for fucking deporting him, you're not upholding the fucking law, which is what the executive is supposed to do. They're supposed to uphold the fucking law. No fucking particular branch of the United States government is above the law. And fuck it. We can just break the law. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Fantastic. Excellent. This should be fucking grounds for fucking impeachment, by the way. Because this is just, it's just evil. Like, that's it. But he's not technically wrong. However, courts uphold the law. You're breaking the law. So guess what? You know, I guess it's, yeah, like I said before, constitutional crisis time. I think earlier before I said, like, if the courts wanted to deploy the fucking marshals to apprehend the president for, quite literally, defying the fucking law, they could do that. That is a fucking option. But, you know, fuck it. We got Stephen Miller here. Stephen Miller is lying in the Oval Office about the Supreme Court's ruling on Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They ruled against the Trump administration. He said that they ruled in favor. Just a lie. He's just lying.
I promise you, if he was your neighbor, you would move right away.
So you
Sure,
don't
man.
plan
But
to
the
ask for
Supreme
anything
Court is
to get
asking
him back?
to...
And
that-
what was the ruling in the Supreme Court, Steve? Was it 9-0?
Yes, it was a 9-0
In our favor.
in our favor.
That's the district court. The High Court's unanimous decision has been called excellent news for the rule of law and a loss for Trump in that he failed to evade judicial review. Incredible. But they're just going along with the fucking bullshit anyways. They're just, like, capitulating to the power of the executive for, like, no fucking reason. I figured that, like, you know, they should fucking, because what Trump is doing is he's directly challenging the court's power. And if anything, we all know about, like, these old fucking fart politicians. What do they care more about anything? Maintaining their own fucking power. And they're just bending the knee. This is incredible. But constitutional crisis time. Let's fucking go, boys.
Against the district court ruling, saying that no district court has the power to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. As Pam said,
just a lie.
The ruling solely stated that if this individual, at El Salvador's sole discretion, was sent back to our country, that we could deport him a second time.
Well,
No version of this legally ends up with him ever living here because he is a citizen of El Salvador. That is the president.
He's a permanent resident. He has a green card he's married to an American citizen. He has any right to be in the U.S. It's incredible. He's just going along with he's just like going along with this fucking capitulation against SCOTUS. All because of like two fucking words, like, effectuate and facilitate. Like, you should know like what those terms mean. It's to help push something along, help, you know, the process of something, to get something moving forward. That's what that means, right? And what the rulings basically said was saying, like, you have to, the Department of Justice has to go ahead with the process to bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That's what they fucking said. They defied it and now have made the Supreme Court bend the fucking knee to them. It's incredible. And he's just lying. Just a lie. You know, liberals, are you guys gonna fucking do anything about this? They're openly defying the sanctity of the Supreme Court. You know, doesn't matter. Alright, what do we got here? More probably lies from Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller claims on Fox News that returning the Maryland father who was wrongly deported to El Salvador would constitute a kidnapping. An invasion of El Salvador's sovereignty. Yeah, because you really care about that, but sure. He was not mistakenly sent to El Salvador. He was. Trump admin lawyers have literally argued that, but sure. This was the right person sent to the right place. It's just a lie. It's incredible.
Your argument is that you don't have to bring him back home, but will you?
So I want to correct, I hate to do it, Bill, but I got to correct you on every single thing that you said because it was all wrong. First, we won the Supreme Court case. Clearly,
9-0.
A district court judge said unconscionably that the president and his administration have to go into El Salvador and extradite one of their citizens, an El Salvadorian citizen, so that would be kidnapping, that we have to kidnap an El Salvadorian citizen against the will of his government.
Holy shit, dude. That's not what they fucking said. He's an American permanent resident, dude. They said, like, you have to bring back the fuck... It doesn't matter, like... Saying that he's an El Salvadoran citizen is just obfuscation at this point. It's just a lie. He's a permanent resident of the United States. He has a green card. He's married to an American citizen. And you just fucking blackbagged him and sent him to a gulag. But okay.
And fly him back to America, which would be an unimaginable act and an invasion of El Salvador's sovereignty. So he appealed to the Supreme Court and said clearly, no district court can compel the president to exercise his Article 2 foreign powers in any way whatsoever.
He's just lying. They literally said the Trump administration did not provide any sufficient evidence or basis for his deportation. He is to be brought back. Just a lie.
DOJ called me after that Supreme Court ruling. They said, this is amazing. We won this case 9-0. We are in excellent state.
They didn't.
This has been portrayed wrong for 72 hours in the media. They said the most a court could ever compel you to do would be to facilitate return, which would basically mean if El Salvador voluntarily sends him back, we wouldn't block him at the airport. We would put him back into ICE detention, and then he would be deported either back to El Salvador or somewhere else. The Supreme Court said that is the most the government can be expected to do. So we won the case handily. The misreporting on...
This is such a fucking huge leap because, again, like I explained before, it's all about needle and diming over the definitions of facilitate and effectuate, which is just a push along the fucking process of. It's incredible, dude. Holy shit. They want to needle and dime over the definitions of a fucking word.
On this has been atrocious. He was not, no, Bill's important. He was not mistakenly sent to El Salvador.
Just a
He's an
lie.
illegal alien from El Salvador. Hold on, this is important. In 2019, he was
Just
ordered
a lie.
deported. He has a final removal order from the United States. These are things that no one disputes. Where is he from?
Dude, why is he so fucking mad, dude? Why, are you mad that you're gonna get called out for your lies? I mean, this is American media. They're not gonna fucking do shit.
El Salvador.
But he's just lying.
Where is he a resident and citizen of? El Salvador. Is he here illegally? Yes.
No.
Does he have a deportation order? Yes.
No.
A DOJ lawyer who is since...
Well, you randomly fabricated a deportation order because you just randomly blackbagged him because he has some fucking tattoos. That's the basis of the deportation, by the way. He has some fucking tattoos. We think he's a part of MS-13 Tren de Aragua. That was a lie. Literally the fucking goddamn... the fucking goddamn representative in the fucking district court case said, like, yeah, we're just going along with fucking orders. We're just doing shit to do shit because fuck it, whatever. They ordered us to do this, so whatever. Just a lie.
Been relieved of duty. A saboteur, a Democrat, put into a filing incorrectly. That
Sure,
this was
man.
a mistaken removal. It was not. This was
It
the right
is.
person sent to the right place. Now, some have said, well, but he had a thing called a withholding order. So a withholding order means you've been ordered deported, but an immigration judge is saying you cannot go back to a particular country. Here's the thing. If you're a member of a foreign terrorist organization, you cannot have a withholding order. Since he's in MS-13, there is no withholding order. Furthermore,
There's no evidence that he's a part of MS-13. That is just a lie. He is not a part of any fucking gang. They're just lying.
the gang that he is accused of being persecuted by doesn't exist anymore in El Salvador. The 18th...
No, he's not going to give you a chance because, again, it's so ridiculous. It's so easy to fucking debunk these claims that he's... Because he's just lying, and he doesn't want to get fucking called on it because he's a fucking little Goebbels, little gremlin.
Street gang is gone. So you have an illegal alien from El
Yeah,
Salvador.
just a lie, just lying.
You haven't even allowed me to ask you a question. Are you convinced he is still a member of MS-13? That was your original charge.
Yes, but here's the thing, Bill. Yes, but not only am I convinced of it, not only is El Salvador convinced of it, Bill, he's an illegal alien from El Salvador with the...
Bro, why are you so fucking triggered, man? I mean, he's an illegal alien. He just is. He just is. He's part of MS-13. There's no evidence that he's a part of MS-13. They fucking blackbagged him, put him in detention, deported him because he has some fucking tattoos. That's it. And they've been doing that to, like, a bunch of other people. What, there was, like, the queer tattoo artist who had some tattoos of mom and dad on his fucking hands, deported to El Salvador in the prison slave labor camp. Incredible. Just fucking fascist shit. They're just fucking lying, and they're all fucking stupid dipshit Nazis. Here's more fucking bullshit, because guess what? One of the original proposals was to send people to fucking Gitmo. the fucking black site used to fucking torture and interrogate people. But you know, doesn't matter. Just do whatever.
Still open? Are there any illegal immigrants who have been taken to Guantanamo Bay today, or is that
how many
been closed?
are they gonna say? Probably not.
Wide open. Gitmo is open. There are
We love Gitmo.
Foreign terrorist aliens that are being housed at Gitmo.
Sure, man.
Awaiting final removal to another destination. But what I want to be very
Can
clear
you tell
on,
me how
Bill,
many?
No, I cannot. That's operationally sensitive
Is it
information.
dozens or more?
Just illegal deportations of people who are probably not terrorists, who are probably permanent residents. Maybe some of them are foreign aliens, but you're not supposed to deport them to fucking Gitmo. It's a fucking black site for torturing people. That is the existence. That's the purpose of fucking Gitmo. But they're just like, well, Gitmo doesn't really get much use, so let's just send a bunch of people there. Fuck it. Who cares?
It's a large number. The exact number is operationally sensitive to do with military and other considerations relating to the security of
Sure, man, totally. Yeah, because like with the fucking Signal Chat group leak, yeah, these guys really care about fucking OPSEC. Yeah, man, totally.
Operating the facility. But I want to be very, very clear about this, Bill. We've been living through a hoax. Nobody was mistakenly sent to El Salvador. He was ordered deported from this country in 2019.
He's lying.
He's an illegal alien. His home...
Yeah, as permanent resident. He's married to an American citizen. Just lying.
Nation is El Salvador. That is where he belongs.
Lies.
Is Gitmo still open?
Just lies yet again. Because, again, he's a fascist little fucking freak. And we have, of course, Tom Homan, who, I don't know. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter, you know. This fucking freakazoid as well.
Well, I think Pam Bondi's right. You know, he's a El Salvadoran national, born in El Salvador.
Of course, he agrees with like the fucking the Himmler.
He's in El Salvador's custody, so El Salvador would have to agree to release him. It doesn't sound.
You are the one who fucking. You guys are the ones who fucking sent him there. You fucking dumbass. He didn't even do anything wrong. Quite literally, he did nothing wrong, and you're just like, yeah, fuck it. Who cares? Send him to the fucking gulag. Let's go, boys. Gulag time.
They're going to. And if we did get him back in the United States, he's going to be detained. He's an MS-13 gang member based on our
Lies.
intelligence and El Salvador's intelligence.
Lies. Just a lie. There's no evidence to say that.
So he's been designated terrorist, so he's going to be locked up regardless. So I agree with Pam Bondi. I think we can facilitate return if El Salvador wants to send him back, but I don't think Bukele's going to do that at all.
Yeah, you know, I expect no less from this fucking burn victim over here, but whatever. I expect nothing less from this fucking stupid, bald fucking troglodyte. Complete fucking loser. Yeah, they're just going along. Like, what they're doing is just blatantly illegal. Constitutional fucking crisis time. Let's go, boys. It's time. Like, what are you even supposed to say here? What they're doing is so blatantly illegal, flying in the fucking face of the fucking court, and they're just going along with it, because, fuck it. We don't want our challenge to be fucking, our power to be further challenged. This is incredible. Like, it's been called an absurdity, in practice a tyranny, to pretend that presidential power to make war and peace appears from any direct position to be found in the instrument of the Oxford Constitution. Like, it is undisputed that Abrego Garcia was entitled to notice of his alleged offense. So far, there is no alleged offense, of course, and an opportunity to plead his case before his liberty was taken away. Those rights are plainly set forth in the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, which all 9 justices vow to uphold. I guess 6 of them don't actually give a shit. In contrast, the Constitution contains no mention of the president's foreign affairs powers, or for that matter, his authority over immigration. Article 2 gives the president the executive power, the commander-in-chief authority, and the ability to negotiate treaties and appoint ambassadors and other public ministers and councils with the advice and consent of the Senate. I don't think he's going ahead with the advice and consent of the Senate in terms of this, but yeah, whatever. In contrast, Article 1 gives Congress the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations, impose taxes and import tariffs for the common defense, and general welfare of the United States, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization, and to declare war, among other things. He's just flying in the face of the Constitution, just doing like whatever the fuck he wants. You know, constitutional crisis. All the fucking liberals, of course, are saying, to this day, she wrote, and this is what Justice Sonia Sotomayor saying, the government has cited no basis in law for Abrego Garcia's warrantless arrest, his removal to El Salvador, or his confinement in a Salvadoran prison. Nor could it. The only argument the government offers in support of its request is that United States courts cannot grant relief once a deportee crosses the border, which is plainly wrong. Sotomayor writes, that means the government must comply with its obligation to provide Abrego Garcia with due process of law, which they haven't. Deport first, ask questions later. And it's pretty fucking emblematic of this, like, complete, collection and gaggle of, like, criminals and fucking charlatans. Just do whatever the fuck they want. Who cares about the fucking rule of law? Law and Order Party, by the way. I thought they really cared about this. So, you know, an innocent man gets fucking randomly fucking deported. They're not going to say what crimes he did because, you know, due process is meant to find out, like, what happened. The Constitution says that he should have, you know, due process, you know, a court order, which is what he had, to go and have his day in court. He didn't end up having it at all. They just black-bagged him, grabbed him, and fucking deported him, and that's it. Saying, fuck it. We'll take care of all the shit later. We'll just do whatever the fuck we want. Complete fucking Mad King shit. It's incredible. Like, there's really nothing much else to say about this. This is a fucking, now a constitutional crisis. The conservatives are just gonna go along with it because they go along to get along. They're submissives to fucking power. Fucking losers as always. And, you know, it's time for a fucking complete constitutional shit show of a showdown. That's what's gonna fucking happen over the next couple of days if I were to fucking take a guess. Because this is quite literally in open defiance of the Constitution. The duty of the president is to help uphold the Constitution, and, you know, Trump's blatantly not fucking doing that. So, you know, that's cool. And innocent people have to fucking suffer because of it. That's great. Fantastic. All because, like, the Gestapo, they need to have their fucking quotas met of people that they need to deport. It's just fucking pathetic. It's sad, really.